Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
A good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage, live right here on your Clear choice.
Oh, yeah.
For Edmonton sports. That is Edmonton Sports Talk, which is presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Apple Music. Thanks to those watching live on YouTube. And for those listening to this on podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, we appreciate you as well. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Shawn Belle with you here. Benny, the intern. We'll have to come up with a name at some. Do you guys have a name for him?
Benny.
Just Benny?
Yeah.
We'll have to come up with something else maybe. He's here as he starts his next transition on the practicum to working more on the Hangout.
Yeah.
As long as there's no fill-in on other shows and stuff.
Benny's
So
very good.
Did you shave, Benny?
Did you shave that little rat mustache?
No, this is like, I don't know, maybe it's
That's
lighting.
not natural.
Get you some Grecian 5.
Yeah.
You shaved that thing for
for
sure.
men.
Just for men, yeah.
Yeah.
Ju-
Looks like you fell a little
draw
bit
it
of
on
dirt
with a
right there, hey?
I can't escape these chirps, no matter where I go.
You're our guy. You're our guy.
yeah, deal with it.
No, I love it.
Get some chirps back. That's kind of...
Means we love you.
The EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. As I said, Canada's storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life's transitions. Right now, they got the Mayhem Madness going on. 50% off 12 weeks on all units, or you get 75% off 8 weeks on 10 by 10 units, or 4 weeks free on selected units. Boys, how are we doing today? You ready for Oilers Golden Knights?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
on pre and post today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Live
exciting.
Hudson's.
You're going to be there.
I will
Hell
be there.
yeah.
Incredible.
I know.
I got to enjoy a hockey game with Belsey a couple games ago.
We did.
I like that.
It was
nice.
wonderful.
I felt like I made it.
You made it. They gave you your name placard and everything. That's
That was
Andrew,
a big day for me.
Andrew
He
Pearce.
was
He's the
very
best.
excited about that. And he
As
took
he
a
should be.
picture. And I was like, to me,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
that one makes me excited that like it's a reminder of how cool of a job that we have.
Good point.
Because I kept saying, like, he once played on those ices.
He did.
Like that's to me like the level, but he was also excited about having just a name bar in the press box.
It is kind of neat.
It is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Text my wife, was like, I made it. I'm official now.
Did it, honey.
I did it.
We had some good-
My lifelong dream.
To become a broadcaster after winning World Junior Gold, playing at the NHL, drafted in the first round. I did it, babe.
I got the nameplate. Did you
I'm a
take the nameplate?
sportscaster.
I didn't.
Oh.
You're not, you're supposed to keep it for next time.
You can't take it.
Yeah.
I was always wondering about 1260 at the end of the season. I always looked at it and I'm like, am I going to be able to
just
take,
might be able
like,
to take
should I
this,
take
yeah.
this one this season?
Those
and I
might
didn't.
be in
didn't.
the office somewhere. Those were good.
yeah.
I have a whole bunch
I should
of
ask
them.
Peard.
Tom Gazzola, Oilers TV one there, a 1260, a straight up just TSN one. Now Edmonton
God.
Sports
Why
Talk.
don't you just whip it out, please?
Sorry, you want me to not drop some names in the process? Yeah.
Just pull it out. That's what you just did.
Stop it.
I used to collect a lot of those things. I had all my press passes. They got
I still
stolen
have
once.
those. Who stole them?
And my parkade, our parkade and the storage, I had the storage cage.
Yeah.
And I had a box. Which
What was the word that you just used?
I don't know. Honestly, don't even remember. And that was 10 seconds ago. There was a container that had hockey cards and I had all my media passes in there from everything I'd done up until that point in my life.
Someone broke into your storage
Somebody
cage?
broke in the storage cage. They went past my tools. They went past my PlayStation 2. They went past like sports equipment. They went to the back. They took my bottles. But then they also took the container of hockey cards. I had my media passes. I'm like, I didn't care about
that's
the hockey cards.
brutal.
I'm like, those
Yeah.
media passes. Those are the collectible things that you have when you're in media.
Like to
I'm
get
oh,
into
thanks.
Fort Knox, like
I was so
Some days.
I have a new
Seriously.
collection going, but I missed out on a few. Like I think I would have had Indy in there.
Oh, Indy was great. I still have those.
I had to see the CHL Top Prospects game would have been in there. I had a few cool things.
You've got some
in there.
cup final ones now. You got.
I do actually. We need to submit
That's what I was gonna say.
yes, you do.
For
Yeah, you do.
no, we talk about Elks.
Elks. I've
you
submitted
said-
for Elks.
Oh, do you
I
have
have
to-
submitted
talking
for
about-
Elks for everyone.
Okay.
He's saying Cup Finals.
Reed said there was an email about Cup Final,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think you're the guy for EST.
Oh crap. Okay, I'll answer.
Unless we email them and switch it to me.
No,
but you'll
I
have
can
to
take care of
submit because last year we didn't realize that.
and I had to talk to Bob and Woj
But
Now
we got
I'm
it
tight
done.
with those guys. Okay, I'll take care of it.
So yeah,
we just got it, right?
I'll send you an email later. But Reed said I don't get the NHL emails, but apparently there was an email saying press for Stanley Cup Finals. I think are now out or something.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
That's insider stuff that no one else cares about. So apologies to all of you listeners for dealing as we do housekeeping here on the EST Hangout.
Well, shoot.
I am also on the clock for the Techmo Super Bowl League. As the best and the champ, I'm in the worst spot for drafting.
It's tough.
So I'm in a tough spot
Who are
right
you
now.
going to pick?
So right now it's gone Dallas, Buffalo, 49ers, Philly,
In what year is this?
93, which is the top 4. That's the way it should have went. Then Hernan took KC, which was a surprise. Dusty took San Diego, who I was hoping would fall to me at 7. They didn't. So now I'm down to probably Houston or Denver is my debate. Houston has a weak defense, but a good offense, and I run that offense really well. Denver has a decent offense, but they have a good defense. They have Fletcher on defense, who's a beast.
We're talking about Techmo right now, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. I'm waiting 2 hours. I'm waiting until the end of the show.
You're going to wait. Okay.
Then I'll make my selection.
Dusty, who sounds like he's having an epic basketball game right now with Trevor, was like, "You're on the clock, Matty. You're on the clock."
Who picked Houston?
They're the team. No one yet. I might take them, but their
That
defense.
season, they were 12-4.
I know. Well, but it's
They
about
put up
how you play with them.
368 points.
The problem with the Houston Oilers is
238.
they have an awful pass defense. An awful pass defense. I'll beat Jay. I'll beat Trev. I'll beat Zach. No problem with Houston. I'll
They gave
destroy
up
them.
the third fewest points against in the entire National Football League
Actually,
in
I should have
1993.
That's not reflected in Techmo Super Bowl.
Well, it should be because they got a good defense.
They have a terrible defense. In Tecmo. Tecmo.
In Techmo.
That's what we're
Tecmo.
talking. Yeah,
They
but
won 11 in a row.
Don't
At
care.
one point.
In
is that with Warren
Tecmo,
Moon?
their secondary just stands there, and the receivers run past them, and it's an
Warren
open
Moon.
pass.
Nice. He was
Yeah,
really
Warren
good.
Moon.
I heard he was good.
Lorenzo White, who's always good
He was
for a
average,
fumble.
eh?
Yeah.
I'm almost maybe talking myself out of the Houston here.
Haywood Jeffries, Webster
great.
Slaughter,
Jeffries is great.
Mike Munchak, sorry.
Oh, Hernan. I made him an offer. He says, I got to wait till see who the first 3 picks are. I was like, it's on until my pick. No, trade's off.
Are the Giants gone?
No, they're all. I can't. I play off with the Giants. I'm
Do you?
terrible with the Giants.
It's fair. Just trying to help, Maddie. Just trying to help.
Well, and I was also offering Hernan a pretty good deal for him.
Denver scored a lot of points that year, so they probably have a good offense.
They got John Elway. Shannon
There you
Sharp.
go. Yep.
Did anyone pick them already?
No.
Shannon
It's
Sharp.
it's Denver or Houston that I'm dealing with right now, and I was kind of worried about like if I made this deal with Hernan, it would change where I would go with it. But it's off. Hernan's too scared to make deals.
Good to see the Techmo Super Bowl League going
It's
again.
thriving.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
thriving.
so.
It's back.
You hate it so much.
I do not hate it. I'm indifferent towards it. I have
Well, why don't you get involved?
I don't want, because I remember it at 1260. It was not my thing. They were breaking drywall. They were punching stuff. And I was like, you guys are way too into that game. I've never played that game. Quite frankly, I have no interest in picking it up. I will gladly watch from a distance and let them all yell and cuss each other out, because that's what's going to happen. And then they're going to keep their stats. There's going to be printouts. There's going to be chirps that I don't understand. It's going to be wonderful. Just entertainment, basically, around here for me. That's how I look at it.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to get into it? Do you need a line, or can I read this text? It's a dilemma from one of our listeners.
Oh, let's get to the dilemma. We'll
Okay.
get to the Oilers right away here.
All right. It's capital C texting. It says, "Hey, fellas, my son has tickets to Game 6. He has never been to a playoff game. I desperately want the Oil to win tonight, but what do I do?"
You hope that the Oilers punt the Vegas Golden Knights right into the sun tonight.
Regardless of Game 6 tickets?
Regardless
Oh,
of
so
Game
you just
6
want
tickets.
like, do I cheer for the Oilers to have a Game 6?
Yeah, he's
or
conflicted.
I see that part.
That's a very tough confliction, but you know what? You just want this to be done.
Yeah.
Although,
Especially with the way the Stars are up 3-1.
yeah,
Because they could be done
yeah,
tomorrow.
this Game 6 in Edmonton would be electric.
It'd be Friday night.
Oh,
It would, but imagine if they lost that, then the nerves of this city
Oof.
going to a 7. Those are all the part of the
I
hypotheticals you got to
wouldn't
go
be
with.
remotely worried about the energy in Game 6 because they would come out and they would be flying. It's not going past 6. Remember, predictions, 6 is what I had.
That's what I had too. I'll happily be wrong if they win tonight.
I think you want 5
I would love it
for
too.
every reason.
Yeah.
You don't want to go there, be there for Game 6.
Okay, so
Only bad things can possibly. No, not only bad things could come from a Game 6.
Like I get where he's coming from. Like he wants to be part of that atmosphere.
Yes.
I get it.
It's-
But you can't be cheering for a Game 6. I'm sorry. You need
No.
to be, this is done.
It's a win-win.
Yeah.
If the Oilers win, awesome.
Yeah.
You're into the conference finals. You're back 3rd in 4 years. Is that the math?
Yep.
Wicked. But if they lose, you can be like, crap. Game 6, we're
Game
closing
6.
out, baby.
Yep.
Let's go do this.
Terrible. I got game tickets. Yeah. You got to cheer for them to win tonight. And then that's your consolation.
Yeah.
You get to go.
Yeah.
And help push them into the conference final.
You're right. That is
Yeah.
a win-win. That's not a bad dilemma.
No, but you're cheering for the Oilers tonight.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, even if there is Game 6, there's a slight chance. I'm not saying it's a big one. It could go to 7 and like things. Whereas if you win 5, it's nothing. You're in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no bad that comes from that.
None. Not for this particular person.
No.
Yeah.
That's for capital C.
You get ready for the conference finals, and maybe there's a chance to get tickets to the conference. Maybe karma gods will look at you and
Yeah.
find a way to get you to conference finals.
Smile upon you and your son. Yeah, I get it. But I think you probably, like Maddie said, you want to get this done ASAP. Let whatever bumps and bruises are ailing them heal up a little bit extra time. Because really, all of these series could be done right away here, right?
Friday's the earliest the second round could be done.
Yeah.
Because the Oilers could finish off tonight.
Yeah.
The Canes and the Stars can finish off tomorrow. And the winner of tonight's Leafs-Panthers game could finish it off on Friday.
That's right.
So in theory, the second round could be done on Friday, which to me says a Monday or a Tuesday, second or third conference final start.
Yep.
And is that what you meant by we might have to work on Monday?
Partially.
You didn't send the email, did you?
No, because I'm going to wait till tonight's game.
Okay.
The other,
You worry me when you do.
Well, the
you
other
do
part
these
is
things.
what if there's a Game 7?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Good point.
You're going to have to work.
Well, like so like
You
I
get a
want
day in lieu.
I want to see how tonight works out. I'm hoping the Oilers win, and then I'm hoping for sure the Jets beat the Stars. So that goes an extra
The Jets
game.
are going home. They're going to beat the Stars.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then everyone could enjoy their Victoria Day.
That would be lovely.
Everyone in Edmonton.
I want to celebrate Queen Victoria. She was my favorite Queen Victoria.
She's just my favorite monarch, period.
Yeah.
What do you
We don't
shake
have
your
a
head?
Queen Elizabeth Day.
Why? He's right.
I'm right. What's wrong?
We
I'm
get
just
a day
shaking
off
my head.
because of her.
Do we have
Yeah.
a King Charles Day?
No,
we
we don't.
should.
Do we have a Queen Elizabeth Day?
We should.
Yeah.
Add it to
I will
add it to
gladly
I think we
support
need
the
more days
monarch
off, too.
more.
Yeah.
I think Queen Elizabeth II deserves one. She had a great run.
What
She
a
did.
lovely old monarch.
She had a great reign.
Yeah.
We should have a day in honor of her.
High
we have a,
tea,
we
high
have a
tea.
day off in
Oh
Jan,
my
Feb.
God.
We don't have an official day off in March or April.
We
Easter
need-
moves.
We need it. We need it. We need at
it.
least one a month.
Because May do we have one in June? We don't have June.
Not that I know of.
July, Canada Day, August, we have
Long weekend.
Long weekend. September, there's 2 long weekends. October's a long weekend.
Why is there 2 in September?
Truth and Reconciliation Day.
Oh, and Labor Day.
And then Labor Day.
Nice.
October, we have Thanksgiving. November, Remembrance Day, and then Christmas. So March, April, and June. I think in June.
There needs to be one every single month.
In June, for sure. I think Queen Elizabeth deserves June.
She was our beloved queen for over 50-something years.
How do you not honor that with a day off?
I know.
It's just disrespectful.
I agree.
know. She came to Edmonton a couple of times.
We named a highway after her.
There's a bathroom in Commonwealth specifically for her that was built for her in the suite there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She deserves a day off.
I'm fully on board.
Let's
One
go.
more day off.
Yeah.
Well, we need 3 more.
Well,
'Cause then we need to
let's
get-
start with one. Baby
I know, but then
steps.
we need to get March and April filled out because Easter moves.
We probably got to get a petition signed.
I will
we got to start the
specifically
movement.
run in this municipal election just on the plan of I want to bring Edmonton.
We need to have
Queen
another
Elizabeth II day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I get on council, that's all I'll go for. And then after, I'll just be like, I have no idea what we're doing here, guys. Like, I'm done. I have nothing else to add.
Wait a sec.
I'm just
Isn't
going to
that
go
how
to
they
my
all
office.
do it?
But I'm
Well, I mean, that'd be great. You could be the ultimate heel if you're a counselor.
That's
No, he would actually bring common sense to that job.
Oh,
Would
he would troll
Yeah.
so many people. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I'd want to be a fly on the wall every single time they had
Oh my god.
whatever they were doing.
Some of the people on there, you're just like, how did you get there? Why are you not? What are we doing?
Because nobody else ran.
But yeah,
That's
so
how.
that's where it goes with Victoria Day. Is it like I want to honor the Queen?
Sure, let's go.
I don't need the nerves of game one
Start
for
the petition.
conference finals or something. Well, no, so we're getting it. Again, there's no petition.
Well, I would just more
hockey.
days off. That's what we need.
Well, that part, but
Yeah.
I'm saying for Monday, this upcoming Monday, I want the day off.
Me too. Me too. That would be
So-
a 2-day weekend. First one in a long time for me.
But again, the Jets, if they win, Stars, they play on Saturday. There's no way they would start the conference finals on Monday.
Think of Queen Victoria.
Are the Stars that good? Or are the
tell me.
Jets just that bad on the road?
I feel like the Jets are stumbling this postseason.
I don't know what it is. Because like they outshot the Stars.
The Stars are good,
They're pretty good. They're pretty damn
but
good.
I just feel like the Jets don't have the right mix for postseason hockey.
The Jets are the Jets.
They're gonna jet.
That's like I said
Jets are
it
gonna
before
jet?
the playoffs that they're a team that they're on that path, not at the same height of them fully, but as the Sharks and the Caps before they ultimately won their cup, which was they could have really good seasons, but they're ultimately going to drop the ball.
They're on the cusp of it.
Like and they were how much 3 seconds
1.6.
1.6 seconds away from being eliminated.
By the Blues.
Yeah, but they went forward. So, I mean, you can't really use that argument
Which argument?
of they were almost.
Well,
eliminated.
they're not looking like that deadly machine that they were maybe more so in
Fair.
the playoff or in the regular season that you were looking ahead going into the playoffs. So, like, I think there's a mix of as Tommy says, the Jets just maybe don't have that playoff mix in that roster.
Yeah.
And then the Stars are good.
How don't they have that mix on the
I
roster?
don't know.
Like you look
It's a
at those
great
players.
roster.
You look at those players, and all those players seem to me like playoff guys.
Seem
Seem
but
to
they
me
don't
like playoff guys.
perform
Like
as playoff guys.
who's not?
Look at
performing?
Hellebuck, first of all.
Hellebuck is the key one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Starts there.
I mean, his road games are not good.
What are they now? 0-9 on the road?
Yeah, it's really bad. So that's why I guess that's my point. Is like, are they just really bad on the road, and the Stars are that good? Because I can't figure out the correlation here. Because the games in Winnipeg were way better. They had
Sure.
way better games.
Yeah.
Is it the road trip? Because of their lack of airport?
Well, that old thing. We had Leah Simakopoulos on Hello Hockey last weekend, and she covers the Stars for the Dallas Morning News. She's been on pre and post or pregame at times this year and last year. Anyway, we're like, Leah, how are you getting out of? We know you're leaving. Before you leave, you're gonna hop on with us. How are you getting out of Winnipeg? Do you have a flight? What's the route? Or do you just drive to North Dakota to Fargo and fly to Dallas? She's like, oddly enough, I am driving to Fargo and flying from there right to
It's
Dallas.
like 3 hours, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Is she legit was?
legit.
I'm guessing just an easier flight to
Yeah.
get to Dallas.
Yeah. Well, that's what Huss did to get down to Dallas. And that's what Leah did.
That
'cause-
must be nice having it at that airport like that close.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, we do have Calgary.
we have Calgary. Unfortunately, apparently, was it you yesterday saying the Atlanta flight is now temporarily suspended?
Yeah.
And then people, like I was talking to Jesse Granger, came by. He's from the Athletic Vegas. Came by to Ice House post game, and we were chatting. And he's like, "It's $1,100 one way to
That's
get from
insane.
Vegas to Edmonton for Game 6."
I don't know if this is the case for Vegas Edmonton. It might be also, but there was just less demand right now for going to Atlanta. Going to the U.S. in general. We've seen
general,
Canadian
yeah.
numbers have dropped.
Yes.
So that one took a hit. I wonder if maybe there's less flights going to and from
Sure
Vegas
sounds
Edmonton
like
right
it.
now.
Yeah.
Because there's less travel
Yep.
and that's why it's like, oh, now there's a bunch of people, but we don't have the flights. Well, prices come up.
100%. It's just tough, but
There's 2 more rounds to go.
Well,
it's not going to get easier in those rounds to get to those particular places, especially if it's Dallas.
In the conference or in the Stanley Cup final, it could be
And if
very
it's
easy.
FLA or Carolina, who wants to go to Carolina anyway?
Or if it's Toronto,
Don't do that.
don't, Matthew. Don't
Don't do
right
that.
over there.
Don't.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's one scenario where it's actually quite easy. And maybe the Jets still come back.
Don't do that.
Don't.
What's wrong with the Jets?
Oh, I don't know. Big Uke has in chat. They're 0-9 with a 5.51 goals against average on the road. Bye.
At some point, you have to get one. You just need one.
Okay, well, I guess, yeah.
Go take
1 out of 10.
Go take 5. Go take 7. You just have to find a way to take 6. That's simple. The math is there.
They're 0-9.
So
they're
that's-
giving up 5 goals a game on the road.
That's 3 straight playoff series where they have yet to win on the road now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch.
There comes a
Ouchies.
point where you break that.
Even if you get one
You just need the one.
that brings you back
Home.
to Winnipeg, and it's still the Stars.
Yeah. But it's home.
They're
Just
done.
saying.
They're done.
They are
Stick a
not
fork
looking
in
good.
them.
It's not
I was just
looking
trying to
good.
hope for good travel. We're talking about, I mean, that's still, until they're knocked out, there's still good travel.
Okay. Now, Stanley Cup final wise, there are people in our city who are very business oriented and very sharp with this stuff. A friend of mine, Mark, whipped together a chartered flight and got like 200 people or just under to pay like $5,000 each for the flight, hotel, and tickets to Game 7. It was unbelievable.
That's a power move.
That was a power. But he's like, okay, here's the cost of the charter through this air travel or airline, pardon me. And I need 180 something people by Thursday. And they sold out. But it was Game 7 of the Cup final. It could be different for like third round or something like that. But anyway, it was just very impressive. I was like, wow, what an offer. Actually, great price if you think about it. On a
You'd sell
turnaround.
that.
Yeah,
You'd
for a
sell
lifetime
that.
opportunity. Yeah.
You can tell that very well. I'm really, really hoping that Florida moves on. Because next week, I'm going to be in FLA.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, are you?
Ask him how he's getting down there.
Don't ask me.
Are you driving?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I just do stupid things.
It depends on your path. It might be very fun. Are you making like a little bit of longer
I'm
of a
not
trip,
driving,
or are you
Matthew.
going straight?
I'm not driving.
He's on a luxury
That's
jet.
not fun.
Oh, look at this.
I'm on a.
This is very gentlemanly
I'm on a
of you.
luxury airliner.
Oh, I was actually very excited. I'll take a
Thank
little
you.
more. I'll take a little bit more. Eric,
I'm going to
Eric
read this
coming
text in the
around.
meantime. It says, my grandfather was a cop.
Thank you, sir.
And when Queen Elizabeth II visited Edmonton, he was part of her security detail. That's kind of cool.
Long live the Queen.
Long live the Queen.
At least in our memories.
She seemed like a very nice lady.
She actually did. She also seemed like she'd be pretty tough in like close quarters meetings. Like she would be able to clear her throat. And you wouldn't want to get on her bad side.
Yeah.
No.
Or her corgis, pardon me.
If Florida moves on, Oilers move on, and Dallas moves on, we've got 75% of last year's conference finals back.
I'm interested.
That's fascinating to me. And people were worried at the start of the year for Oilers. Didn't Florida get? No, they got off to a decent start. Then they tailed off a bit, I think.
Well, I think people were worried about the Oilers because they had legitimate concern
No,
about
100%.
the Oilers. Like,
But it's just how like we could get back to outside of the Rangers. Same thing.
man, the Oilers in most of the regular season, oh my God.
They were a playoff team. They just were waiting for the playoffs. They didn't care.
Oh, they still cared.
But it was preseason.
There's only one season for them.
That's what I was. Hey, that's what I was.
There's two, I
basically
guess.
saying
There's
all year.
preseason and then
There
there's
was
playoffs.
preseason and pre-preseason. Before that, they had the first preseason and it's like first lunch, second lunch, first breakfast, second breakfast, and Lord of the Rings and all that. The Hobbits.
What?
It was preseason, first preseason, second preseason.
Okay.
Second preseason
Yeah,
was just
sounds
really
good.
long.
Yeah.
Well, look at all these guys that they've just turned it on.
Well, I think the makeup of their team is just so different than what you saw. That's the beautiful part about it.
Which was also part of, like, I'll go back to things I was saying in October, November. Is like this team that I see in October, November, December isn't going to be the team I see in April because the trade deadline has to come.
Yeah,
Trade deadline
that's
came, there's
fair.
moves made. And then we didn't see any of these players together because they're all hurt.
Oh, did you do air quotes?
For some of the hurt, yeah. Connor said they weren't all hurt. Some are hurt.
Connor did say that we're not as banged up as people think.
And it has looked that way. Although, I was going to say Koskinen. Ekholm hurt, obviously. I stand by, and I know what you said. You said, and for those missed it, I think it was game 3, maybe. Ask you on the post-game show about Leon, and was he hurt? You said you brought that up with somebody with the Oilers, and they're like, is he?
And then last game, it was reinforced to me by someone else within the team.
Really?
Saying, oh, he's not.
It's just,
So then what's wrong?
Vegas is playing him tough. This game doesn't mesh well against the Golden Knights. He's having a tough stretch. He's still one of the top 5 scorers in the playoffs.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, he scored the game winner in game 2.
Isn't it weird that that's the situation where he's still one of the top 5, but we're sitting here saying, like, what's wrong with Leon?
well, he
That's
doesn't look fully the same.
Yeah, that's how dominant he's been.
Yep.
Just this will be Hangout headlines brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. From premier golf facilities to the corporate branded products to Ranch, your all-in-one tournament host. Proud host over 180 tournaments each year, including the EST Golf Classic presented by Play Alberta. They're here to help you execute all your tournament ideas. Book your tournament or your tee time today by visiting theranchgolf.com. Yeah, it's just like it would surprise me if he like actually to a degree isn't a little hurt still though, just because
That's what I kept saying. I'm like, come on, he was hurt. And they're like, he's fine. And then people are like, well, they were not going to tell you he's hurt. It's like, well,
they also
it would make an easy excuse.
They wouldn't
to
also
say
just
he's banged up.
sit there outright and just be like, well, is he hurt?
Yeah,
And to try to make you
these
see-
are like people I've known for years and years and years that aren't going to BS me.
They could also just sit there and just, if they really want, be like, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that's not even say anything really.
And you can tell you get these relationships with people from all kinds of organizations. They become friends, and if they don't want to tell you something, the way they answer, like Maddie just used as an example, the or I can't tell you. They'll just do that to you. These are people that are like, well, he's not. There it is.
He did it.
Very good. Go ahead.
Robert A. in the nasty. Everyone seems to forget Oilers formed before the Four Nations tournament. They were 3rd in the league overall, from what I remember. They were
4th. But yes, good memory.
regardless of what it is, 3rd, 4th. Sure. But we can't sit here and like pretend like they were just a juggernaut to get to that
No,
spot.
they're flawed, but
They were
did
very,
climb up
very
there.
much flawed.
Yeah.
You could also then go with that. What happened after?
Yeah.
They had a rough patch.
And that leading into the playoffs did not give a lot of confidence for everyone going into it and stuff. And in the end, ultimately, I think it was the injuries, just how many players were
everything was just
missing games and
piling up.
hurt. And you're like, well, it's one of those you never then, especially knowing the injuries. And actually, I'll add to that, like the fact that also like Frederick comes back, but then gets hurt.
Yep.
Ekholm comes back, then gets hurt. Leon comes back from an injury. He's out again. Like, and it's like, oh, okay, are they rushing these guys back? Or any of these guys going to come back actually healthy? Answer is for most of them, yes. Well, that's what it was.
Question comes in from Coach Mike. Says, can the Oilers duplicate Game 4 tonight? Will it be more difficult to do on the road? I would divert and refer to my good friend Shawn Belle on that one.
Oh, it's going to be more difficult because you've got a team that's desperate. So it's not going to be, I don't think that you'll see as dominant of a game by the Oilers. I think it'd be more back and forth, and Vegas is going to give you everything they have, plus the kitchen sink. So the Oilers got to make sure that they come out and they're ready to go. If you can get the first one, that's a seed of doubt that's planted. And if you make it to the point where you make it really hard on them, you never know what may or may not happen. Some teams quit. gonna be a hard game, but you gotta be ready to go.
I can't
And
see Vegas being one of those teams.
I
that
don't
quits.
see them being that team either, and that's why I think this is like the first 10 minutes of that game is gonna be crucial. They got to come out and they got to play the exact same way. And if they don't, then you allow Vegas into the game. You never know what's going to happen. Coin flip. But to me, it's come out 10 minutes, play hard, set the tone, set the tempo of the game, play how you want it, and dictate the pace of it. And say, keep up if you can.
What do you think Bruce Cassidy's saying to his team after that loss the other night? That was the first home win for a team in the series as well, by the way. What do you think Cassidy's telling them?
They probably just need to regroup and stay mentally engaged. Like, to me, they were doing things that were out of their character. Like Aiden Hill, running and trying to like fight guys and get into scrums, like, and slashing and poking, and even the Janmark one where people are like, well, Janmark went through the crease. Okay, he went through the crease. You stuck your leg out.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want. So
What he wanted is what he got.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
He got the power play.
he did. But
He
my
won
point
that
is
battle.
that you were more worried about doing that stuff in the first period as opposed to trying to make saves.
Question.
Yes.
If you're like an Evander Kane, would you just skate through the crease and take a goaltender interference penalty early in this game?
No. Because I think they're going to be way more stringent on it.
But like, well, you're taking two. You know you're going to the box. Would you try to see if you could rattle him?
No.
You wouldn't risk that?
No. I would be doing lots of flybys and stuff like that, but I would try to avoid that all-out contact.
And would you crowd the crease when
Yes.
he covers up
Yes.
every single time,
Yes.
stand over him?
I wouldn't change
Yeah.
what I did, but I just wouldn't try to like full on have that contact. If you're going to do some like flybys, you're going to crowd the crease, make it like difficult for him to just get him out of his routine. That's what I'd be doing. But like, let's just avoid the 2-minute goaltender interference, because you never know because the NHL saw that, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And now they're going to say, okay, we're going to crack down on this stuff. So we don't want this to continue, but there's obviously things within the rules that you can do that can still mess with the goaltender. So
I'd shoot one at his head, like really early
it's
in the
right
game.
between the eyes.
A good old waster. Just waste one on him. Fire one right at his melon and see what happens. It is a strategy. It's an old one in hockey, but it's a good one. Like, you're not waking him up. You're literally trying to hit him in the head.
You just got to see early where is Aiden Hill mentally in this game, and that's a good test.
Well,
It's
and
like
shake
the rookie defensive back comes into a football game to start. You target him
Throwing
a
at
couple
him,
of quick throws just to see, okay,
Yeah.
is this guy going to be a player or is this guy going to be somebody we're going to beat all game?
That's what I just thought. I thought
And
Vegas.
I wonder if there's a way. I guess there's got to be something with Aiden Hill that you're doing early just to see
Yeah.
That's
whatever
what I'm
goal is.
saying.
If he's messed up,
Fire one at
you
his
keep
head.
going. You keep going. And if it's not, okay, maybe you pulled back a little more on that. 'Cause
I
he's
wouldn't
dialed in.
hold back. I would still do the exact same things because you just want to make him uncomfortable in the net. That's what you want to do. So even if he was dialed in and he's not reacting to it, you keep doing and stay the course, because at some point he's going to get tired of it. Right? Like you go to the net hard, he covers a puck, you just happen to hack his hand, like
Oops.
bang, bang, play. Oopsie, was going
Sorry,
for the
whoops.
puck.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Like those little things that happen, and there's obviously that game within the game that happens all the time. At some point, he's going to be a little bit upset.
He's going to put himself into the right frame of mind going into the game, but something like that can remind him, trigger what he did in game 4. I mean, that's what you're hoping for,
Like,
best case scenario.
what do you think they said for him to go nuts?
I don't know.
He was nuts before.
I don't think they
before
said
the-
anything. I think it was
Well,
the
Janmark
fact that they
said
were getting in
something.
his grill.
Janmark said something. I don't know what it was.
Oh, he's a pretty good guy.
It's like Slapshot, hey? Hey, Hammerhand.
I don't think it's a hand situation, although that is a classic line. Kids, if you're listening, maybe you're not ready for Slapshot. Adults,
yeah,
you
just
know what
leave-
we're
just
talking
leave
about.
that alone.
Great line. Jeffy texts again, 780-218-9999. Jeffy says, Hill embarrassed the refs by initiating contact and diving.
Yep.
I'd bet they'd be less likely to call interference tonight. That's a good point by Jeffy.
Yeah, but it's been happening all playoffs.
Just him or others?
Others too.
Okay. Well, everybody's gonna sell their or make their case, like kissing the glove. Oh, that bleeding. Oh, no. Or the head snap back, and there's all the classic moves to try to draw a penalty. But Jeffy's right. Like Hill did embarrass the refs by sticking out his leg.
Yep.
And, yeah.
What I don't understand is like, okay, I know that Kane falls on the goaltender.
Yes.
But like, if you don't have eyes, then you're like, oh, Kane fell on the goaltender. McNabb cross-checks this guy
I'm
right
the guy
in the
without
back.
eyes. I got into
You
this
didn't
with
see
Reed.
this?
I don't think it was enough for Kane to fall the way he did.
He's
The stick-
celebrating. He's going to the net. So that's
Yeah.
number one.
Calculated.
It's very calculated. It was easy, but it's still the shove that propelled that.
His
Because if
stick
he
comes
doesn't do
up
it,
as opposed to more out.
nah.
That I think that is just full Kane's reputation.
Kane for sure did it on purpose. Let's not excuse that. But the motion of what McNabb did,
Didn't go that way. It
he
went,
went
like
this way.
It
but
went up.
regardless, I'm doing this one. Oh,
I don't think it was enough for the full of what Evander Kane did.
I do.
And that's why I think the ref didn't call it.
I do.
I
I think it was
with
enough.
you.
McNabb's a big boy.
Yeah, and the panels
And-
were with you, but I to your point, you said Kane knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And that's why the refs give the reputation call there.
Somebody's quoting that line with Hanrahan. Thank you. Great.
Yeah,
line.
James B. Kane did it accidentally on purpose.
Yeah,
and
it was
and
an
that's
it was 100% an accidental on purpose.
and
But
that's why the ref I think called it that way. Because if it was any other player doing that, I don't think
the
that's what
accident
happens.
was, well, McNabb, you want to cross check me? I'm going to the net
whoops.
anyway. I'm celebrating. Oh, I fell.
Oh, the goalie's in my way.
Whoopsie.
I'm sorry.
I think if McNabb doesn't touch him, he's still doing
I
it's
don't.
falling on the goalie.
I don't because he needs to.
There was no way for him to stop.
He's
He was
been
falling
towing
down.
that line very well. He's been towing the line very well. And normally I would chirp him, but he's been towing the line very, very well. And he hasn't really taken any dumb penalties, maybe outside of one this playoffs. So
Yeah.
I do think he would have stopped, but I do think it was a cross check that allowed him to get that accident on purpose moment.
I was okay with the call going Kane's way.
Oh, I thought it was
that's good.
hilarious.
That's what it was, but
I
I know
thought
I
it was hilarious. So I have no issues with the whole
And it worked out. The
situation.
Oilers won.
If we see some entertainment like that and some explosive situations, I'd be okay with it. I love that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of animosity there.
Oh,
I like
yes.
it. It's good.
It's partly why I do wonder again, does Kane go and just kind of fall on Hill again today?
If the situation presents
That's
itself.
the thing. But like even without like just to see if you can rattle Aiden Hill early.
I would just be, continue to take the runs that you're taking. Have you seen the Oilers take runs like this at guys before? I don't know if I have.
No, but their most physical games this year have been against Vegas. For some reason, this team gets up physically for the Vegas Golden Knights.
It's crazy. Like Kapanen was like a man
He was
possessed.
great.
Podkolzin was blowing guys up. Pietrangelo, because remember when we were sitting next to each other and I'm like, that's the fifth big hit Pietrangelo's taken. Like he just
More of
keeps
that.
picking himself back up off the ice. That can't be that fun.
No.
Here we are.
This is EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage on your clear choice for Edmonton Sports Talk. We are presented by Playa Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet using YEG50. PlayAlberta.ca. Download their app. What do we got for specials right now? If you go to Play Alberta,
There's the
you
YEG
click on
50.
EST specials.
Yeah.
What bets like Dusty's play of the day
the
and stuff like
bets
that.
today, but I'm
you
talking
click
about
on EST, but yeah, there's 100 casino, 100 sports. Both those deposit 20 more, and you get either a $100 casino bonus or a $100 free bet on sports. And then there's the YEG 50 for $50 free bet. Early bird bet right now. Leon 1 goal, McDavid a power play point. The Oilers to win plus 800. Really? That's a great number. Like just for this, the Oilers win and Draisaitl gets a goal thanks to a McDavid assist. Boom, this hits at plus 800. It's a really nice number.
Which one's okay? Say again for plus.
The early bird bet that Dusty got up today was
Yeah.
Leon has 1+ goal. McDavid has 1+ power play point, and the Oilers win. It's plus 800. So the scenario for me is McDavid gets it across, Leon shoots it in, Oilers win this hockey game, boom, that cashes.
Vegas has taken that away, done a good job of taking that away, though, because they know Connor's looking for it, that cross-seam pass. They did a good job in Game 3 in particular, getting sticks on pucks, blanketing the Oilers' offense.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
We might have a little bit of breaking news in hockey.
Yeah.
What's the sound that we use now for breaking news? We did it on Hello.
You said it wasn't the right one.
Well, you started off with the nonsensical one, but it was like a screaming sound.
Benny, do you have that? I don't know. Do we have it on that board? I don't know.
I don't.
That's okay.
According to Pierre LeBrun, deal is still not finalized yet, but Flyers are zeroing in on hiring Rick Tocchet as head coach. Shocker.
There we go.
Stunner.
Sounds like something that Dave Pagnotta said on Hello Hockey last Saturday. How about that? Hey, Benny.
Weird.
Oh, Irf called me too.
Did he?
Called me yesterday. He's like, all that stuff I said on the show. He's like, now they're putting it out there. He's funny that. I was like, yep, funny that. So I gotta listen and watch Hello Hockey.
10 o'clock Saturday mornings.
That's right. We're live on location at
Summit
at Silent Ice Center this Saturday. It should be fun.
It'll be a good one.
And then after that, I'll be on location at Elks Fan Day.
Yes.
Nice.
Jay's going to
Here we
pop
go.
by
I wanna
too.
get
And
down to training camp.
we'll get Elks cutting 8 today, including Treya's Odom Duke.
Really?
Duke. Yeah. They have a lot of receivers.
Yeah.
And apparently a couple of guys are looking good early in camp. But they've signed Alex Hollins. They have Curly Gittins. And they had Steven Dunbar.
Yeah.
Right there, there's your top 3.
You got Mathis, who they gave up their first round pick in the supplemental draft.
But
last
Arkell
year.
Smith is higher right now on the depth chart.
Yeah, I know, but like that's the up and coming.
Yeah.
What is he? 6'5", 6'6"?
He's a beast.
Just a giant. And then,
Who
Arkell-
else is there?
I forget about Arkell Smith.
I saw only mentioned, and then there's Julian Grant, Keon Julian Grant, that they also
right.
signed from Montreal too. So
That
like
Alex Hollins pickup was a good one.
huge one.
Yeah.
So and actually BC's paying for him a little bit.
75 grand they had
Yeah.
to pay him. That's a good chunk. Thank you.
So it was like somebody did had to go, and I'm not surprised it's a Trey Odom's Duke. He's coming off injuries and stuff, so
Yeah.
not there. We'll say Elks are in Calgary next Saturday for their first preseason game. But yeah, this Saturday they're out in Sherwood Park for their fan day. So people can come on by. Jay and I will be there. We'll talk to a few Elks, hopefully, as this season gets closer. I get more nervous.
Who was on yesterday with Hernan?
Mark Cordy.
Cordy, that's right. Yeah, 'cause he signed his deal.
Signed a deal.
Yeah.
I just need to see that first game.
Didn't we have Royce Mechie on too this
They're
week?
going to be good, aren't they?
Hernan Gager a couple days ago too.
Yeah. Good.
They're going to be good, aren't they?
I'm nervous.
Should be.
Really?
Here's the thing: every time we try to get excited for the Elks, instead of 2 years of the last 20 years, they've fallen flat on their faces.
Yeah, but that was a different time.
Yeah, but it's not.
It is.
It's
Dude, you were in that press conference. I was
I know.
there. You were there.
Yeah.
You listened to Ed Hervey talk.
I know.
I
but-
started working out again because now I'm ready to run through a wall
I know.
Because of Ed?
because of Ed.
You
I've
tell
been
him that.
jazzed up ever since. I've been vibing ever since that. That was like 3 months ago.
But
You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. Actually, it's more than 3 months ago. It was December.
go.
Or November.
Well, he had a slow
he
burn
started-
before he started working out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Look up.
one of
He's getting some
those
gains.
I'm just worried that, like, there is the one thing: the team that wins free agency doesn't generally do well. And now the Elks did go in free agency, but they also did do it in a way where they fixed the spots that they needed to.
They picked
But
the
it's-
right players, though. Well,
Right, but
like
on
the-
paper,
on
it's
paper they
different.
did. Yes.
And that's why I'm nervous. I also, though, look at this and go, I could see an 0-3 start to the season and them still win 10 games. I don't like the early part of this season.
Can Snoop Dogg catapult the Elks to an opening night victory?
That'd be so huge if they did.
Did you see that?
I did not.
Snoop is opening BC Edmonton.
Snoop, eh?
Yeah.
Bringing in the big guns.
Oh, yeah.
Armand Doman.
Yeah. Amar Doman.
He does that.
Yeah. It's concert
So-
series.
Yeah.
We'll be sipping on some gin and juice that night, my friend.
Do that again, please. But a little bit more sauce with it.
Well, we sipping on some gin and juice that night, my friend.
Yes, I guess we are.
At least I will be, I guess. I'm not working that night, so
Oh,
I'm just worried still.
Depot.
I have the concern. It's on Belsey. It's been 20 years of bad outside of 14 and
you
15.
are right.
They just need to go win a couple. Even if they lose to BC, just beat Montreal and Edmonton, and then we're good.
I'm going to be sitting
we're
in my
good.
standing in my Twisted Tea section.
Is it
They haven't-
Twisted Tea still?
I'm pretty sure it was. That's right bottom.
Okay.
Hopefully it's still
Well,
Twisted
they're no.
Tea.
Oh yeah, because they're no longer the sponsor of the halftime show. Bud Light is now the official drink of the Canadian
Oh, I
Football
saw
League. That's
that.
CFL, and so now it's the Bud Light halftime show, which we'll see what they get out in Winnipeg.
For Coupe Gris. I think it's going to be a fun season. Seriously, I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
We got some hockey to get to before the football season.
We might have hockey and football going.
That's doable.
I got a feeling it might happen.
Do
you?
Feeling.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to jump ahead from Vegas for a second. You think they match up well enough again? Like the Stars ones. I know it happened last year.
I think they're a nice blend between Colorado and Winnipeg.
The others?
Because you'd probably think that Winnipeg's a heavier team between Winnipeg and Colorado. Colorado was probably the more skilled team, faster team. And I think the Oilers are literally a perfect mix of those two. Because they, based on what you saw, and you've been seeing it more and more, there's a level of physicality that the Oilers have that they can get to where you're like, oh, that's nice. But they also have the required skill to play that way. They're becoming a team that can play any style you want.
This is a pretty... That's a tough series, I think.
That'll be a very tough
That's a
series.
very
Like
tough-
Dallas
like
is a
it's-
very good hockey team. But
And it's
still,
tough playing in Dallas. Now, I know the Oilers went and did it last year.
You do not have Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid. We have seen in the past, despite them not dominating this series, even though they're doing well, that they can elevate to a level that most people cannot touch. I like Dallas. I think Dallas is very good.
How
And they
different are
should-
they from last year's Dallas team?
Rantanen.
Rantanen better.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
What has he done this postseason?
That's the big one that you have there. I would say if the Oilers get past Dallas, I don't think they're losing to the Panthers again this year. They're not losing to the Canes. They're definitely not losing to the Leafs.
You know what, man? There are no easy series in the postseason. There are no
Especially as you
easy
keep going
matchups.
No,
forward.
there's not.
Yeah.
Because
It's just I
was it you that said it? Like you don't. Is there a team? No, it wasn't you. It was a buddy of mine. He's like, "Do you see somebody beating the Oilers 4 out of 7?"
yeah I said.
and I was like, "I don't know. I don't think so."
I
But
was
then,
going. Did you see the Golden Knights? Are they going to beat the Oilers in 3 straight? Even.
yeah, that'd be tough. But then I go to Dallas and I'm like, "Do you see a team beating them 4-7?" Because I don't. Like they are good, man. Like, say whatever you want about the Jets. The Jets are a good hockey team. They're one of the best teams in the league from cover to cover.
The thing with the Stars would be, okay, what is how much healthier can Heiskanen get for that series?
It don't even matter at this point because Hartley has just taken the number 1 reign and just ran with it.
I know, but if you could add a much healthier Heiskanen, that's what makes them extra scary.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah, you're not
but
wrong.
if he doesn't
Okay, can I finish your?
No,
thought?
I'm just
I
going
wanna
like
counter
if
with
depending
something.
where he is, like that I think helps, that equalizes it a little bit more. Because again, I will go to the Oilers did take that team down last year. No Rantanen, but they did go and they had 4 straight against that team.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were talking about just finding 7 of them, I think the Oilers can go do it because they did it in straight last year.
Wasn't it in 6?
I thought they won 4 straight.
No, they won game 1.
Oh, they won
Yeah.
3 straight. Sorry, they
Yeah.
won 3 straight.
Yeah.
That was last year.
I know. But if Heiskanen's not at the level that he should be at or can be at, I think that gives you.
Yeah,
the Oilers don't have
Hartley wasn't at the level he is currently last year. Like, guys have taken steps. You have Rantanen on the team now. That is a massive step. Some of the depth that you've added is massive.
I want to throw this at you guys. And it's not, I don't necessarily believe this, but I'm just saying, can you counter by saying, well, the Stars beat a very good Avs team, but maybe the goaltending wasn't there for the Avs. And can you also make the argument, I'm saying can, I'm not making the argument, I'm saying can you make the argument that the Winnipeg Jets were or are wobbly, wobbly because they barely got by St. Louis. They can't win on the road. Their goaltender, you don't know what you're going to get from him. He's not Vezina caliber. Wobbly or a shaky Jets team. Can you make that argument that the Stars were fortuitous, and don't get me wrong, have been very good in taking advantage of an Avalanche team that I really don't think that the Lumberyard is as good as people make it out to be as a goaltending tandem. And then we're seeing a shaky, wobbly Jets team that really doesn't have it this year. Can you make that argument? That's my question. I'm not saying I believe this, but can you make that argument?
Okay, outside of the two goaltenders that Colorado had, the rest of their team was like, if they got through that, they were the cup contender. They were probably the number one pick for other people. So if that series was Colorado winning, most pundits would say that Colorado was going to be now the Stanley Cup favorite.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
That game, sure. That series in particular was massive. You got the Jets, and I think the Jets, cover to cover, have been one of the best teams in hockey. Now, we can obviously sit here and say, well, yeah, they were shaky against the Blues, but let's be honest about this for 2 seconds. The Blues were going to give anybody a hell of a run because the Blues in the second half of the season were lights out good. So it wouldn't have mattered who they played. They were going to give them everything that they could handle. That's why nobody wanted to play the Blues.
I get that. I'm not arguing with that. I'm just saying.
I mean, here, listen to this depth. Granlund, Hintz, Rantanen, Marchment, Duchesne, Sagan, Robertson, Johnston, and pick anybody you want. Ben's on your fourth line.
Yeah, but he's old now.
Corey Perry's old. He's younger than Corey Perry.
Postseason. Yeah.
I'm just saying the depth that Dallas has is scary.
Did you see this stuff about the stick tape from Granlund? Yeah. That was on the Friedman had yesterday during the game.
What was it?
In the first 2 periods, he uses a black tape, and then for the third period, he switches to a white tape.
On the end of his blade?
Yeah.
White tape's way better than black tape.
But it's I don't know.
He had 2 goals in the first 2 periods, and then had a hat trick with the white tape in the end.
But he switches it up.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's insane.
Guys do weird stuff with their sticks. Like Peter Klima used to do like a zebra tape job. Who else has like a really weird tape job?
Pasternak.
Yeah, David Pasternak has a weird one. Yeah. Did you do weird stuff with your stick's pretty normal?
It's normal.
Yeah. Who do you remember guys having weird stick things?
Yeah, there were some knobs that were just, what is going on here?
Mark Stone.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That thing is just awkward. Actually, there's a guy that we skate with, stick, and then the knob goes like this way.
I've seen that before.
And I am like, that's weird too.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like a hook.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout there brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, highproductmarketing.com.
Tough throw.
It's a ratted card and stuff. I need to reglue it and stuff. Bellsy, Tommy, Matt with you here. I could just reglue it, and I'm too cheap. You know that. We got Benny over there on the other side
he's very frugal.
the camera as well here on the Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. A reminder coming up at 11 o'clock. Lock Shop. We got Oil Stream. We got EST Afternoons. the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, then 6 o'clock, GCLD's Oil Stream pregame show, Tommy Belzy Hernan, Tommy Belzy live at Hudson's on White. They will also have the postgame show for you. Book your table.
Yes.
I'm assuming it's pretty packed.
Andrew was just texting and asking, my dad actually is going to be down there. I think my parents will come down. Cal in the Park did book for 12, and I think it's obviously for the Nasties, but I feel like there's going to be more coming down. Mm-hmm. So call Connor or the crew over at Hudson's White Ave and book. They took out the bar in the back, the back section, and they added more tables so there's more room, and they're because the back bar, they weren't really pouring drinks from there that much, and they can handle it at the main bar anyway. So there's a little bit more space, a little more capacity, which is great, but still book your table because I feel like the Nasties have been turning out. We had a table at Ice House the other night, VR Montenegro, Corey B, Cal and Sarah, and then Atif Old Wheels showed up for a bit, and I think Patrick was there as well, so that was nice. And we expect more for this White Ab one, so it should be good.
Yeah.
And then you and me are going to be there. Hey, okay, one time last season, someone walked in wearing an Oklahoma City Barons jersey when we were live on location, and Belzy played for the team that wore those exact jerseys. They were the weird Oilers Reebok Edge ones that had the stripe that had a gap in them. And
it was an awful jersey.
Oh, Belzy! I looked at Belzy. I'm like, you should go sign that guy's jersey. You're an original OKC Baron. That was your year. And he goes, I wouldn't even touch that thing. He's like, that uniform was so bad. I'm like, yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was one of the worst.
But what if that guy asked you you'd sign it for him?
I'd say put it in a bonfire.
Belzy. That's a
I would
collector's item.
I would have signed it for him.
Yeah, you would have. You're too nice. But they were ugly jerseys.
Yeah.
Did you play on that Schultz and Hall Eberle team?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Lockout. By that point, I was playing in Mannheim.
Oh, okay.
At that point,
You had like Alex Giroux, Marty Gerber,
Brad Moran.
Great AHL player.
Yes.
He was unbelievable. Some of those guys were actually unbelievable players.
Yeah.
Skating was his issue in the NHL.
Yeah. You just couldn't keep up. But everything else he had.
Curtis Hamilton.
Petrie was my D partner.
That's right. Jeff, great guy.
Yeah.
Jody asking any updates on line combos yet. The Oilers won't be on the ice until Oilers 11:30.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to the Oil Stream.
I'd also say to Jody, what do you want changed? I'm assuming they're going with the same lineup. Just be like,
Jeff Skinner in there.
stop it.
He did bring up the conversation. It was a good conversation you guys had about hockey on Saturday.
Yeah.
I had somebody else say it to me just out in the wild yesterday. They're like, I just feel bad for Jeff Skinner. I was like,
But you do. Like,
Why?
that's the thing. You actually do.
I
Because the
understand
guy's
Tommy's
worked.
point.
So do I. But at the end of the day, you got to have a little heart for the guy. Doesn't matter about the 100
okay, I'll
million
have
that he's got. Like
a little heart.
The guy's worked his entire
a quote,
career.
Unquote, 100 million. He has made over $100 million.
If he was smart with his money, that would be well over.
The
100
guy
now.
is very chipper. He probably skips into the arena every day.
No, he doesn't skip in because he wants to be in the lineup. Because he's a competitor.
If I was in his situation, I would just be like, I'm not playing to this. Fine.
Oh my God.
You just missed our wonderful conversation about it yesterday. Of like he'll come in for the Stanley Cup final and be all fresh. Hey boys, how you feeling? While they're all taping up their bandages and,
like,
all
I'm
that,
ready.
and he's fresh,
Let's
ready
go.
to go, feeling good, ready
Yeah.
to do a couple of like burpees beforehand, just
Yeah.
cause. Because
He's not even going to be in the lineup.
You guys
So
need
what
me
are
to
we
be
kidding
physical?
right now?
Sure. Whatever you want.
Because maybe this is the whole long game. He's fresh.
Yeah.
Stanley Cup finals
Oh
rolls
my
around,
God.
and you
Secret
unleash
weapon.
him.
Feel bad for the guy that he's played 1,078 games and he's only gotten to one.
And he's got a point.
He signed here. He signed here so he could get on a playoff run, and he's been in the doghouse since day one and can't get out.
He's a point a game player in his NHL playoff career.
Can't take that away
He
from
has
him.
never not put up a point in an NHL playoff game.
Can't take that away from him.
Also dash 2.
Clip it. That's the one, Betty. That's the one. Too good. But yeah,
You're the one that you're part of the people that feel bad for him, and you're throwing him under the bus.
He feels bad
I feel
too.
bad because I don't know. I don't think the dashes were his fault necessarily. I have to look back, but
But still, we're trying to give him some credit.
I know,
Pointing
I know,
blame,
I
no
know.
dash too.
I haven't defended him.
Deal with that, Jeff.
Way to go, Jeff. Like, that's
Like
okay.
that guy's probably just miserable, being like, "What did I do? I want to get in the lineup and produce and be able to play."
As soon as this season's over, he's hopping on a PJ to Ibiza, and he's gonna be dancing the night away with some supermodels. And
Is he in the NHL next year, you think?
oh
Yeah.
Yeah, you think somebody will take a chance on him?
yeah.
The EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada Storage experts, more than 2 decades helping Canadians through life transition. Canadian storage provider by Canadian right now. Check out for more information, more details, sentinel.ca for convenient locations, all their deals, sentinel.ca.
Nice throw.
Thank you. That one actually worked quite well.
Perfect.
I'm still debating my Techmo.
Nobody jumped on
So-
Ibiza.
That one there.
That's how they say it.
Do they?
Ibiza.
Okay.
Yeah. You know where Yak used to go in the off season? He would go to Mykonos and Cyprus.
Great place.
Yeah.
Cyprus, I've actually heard, is unbelievable.
Yeah. And I was like, what's going on there? He's like, supermodels everywhere.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
One side of the island
Like, okay.
is like, I think it's the east side of the island. It's a lot of like Russian money, supermodels that go there.
Yep.
The other half, the western side, is like all warships.
I'm not surprised.
But Cyprus is supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah. He said the parties are unbelievable. Cal in the park, just an update on Hudson's. Thank you, Cal, for texting in. We have the dance floor book that is 16 seats. Tamara mentioned in the nasty chat this morning it was sold out.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
All right.
So you're not getting into the Hudsons. Unless you call later and just see if there's any cancellations that are popping up.
Cal in the park.
I think we have text of the day.
I know. Okay, what is it?
Ayana Prasad. Dallas does have a pair like Draisaitl McDavid. She sits behind the visitor's bench.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, my God.
That was beautiful.
Well, they do everything bigger in Texas.
Oh, hilarious.
There have been people in the Nats chat all saying you don't want to go to Game 7 with Dallas because they got CC and beat DeBoer.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing.
Dallas
you got to
is-
finish
Dallas
in
is
6.
it's just
You have to win 4 games in 6 because you go to 7, beat
7
DeBoer
Assassins.
and Cody CC.
okay. Dallas is a distraction because here's how it starts. This is what your day starts like before you're going out the game. You walk down this little tunnel because you come out.
Oh, yeah.
On the let's call it the northeast section of the rink,
It's the Zamboni entrance.
just right by it.
Yeah.
But as you're trying to like get mentally engaged in the game, you've got 10 10s that all smell ridiculously good.
Yep.
And they're just sitting there watching you.
Yep.
You're so off your game, you don't even know what hit you.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden they come out flying around the ice and
Yep.
you're like, okay, well, I'm still in the tunnel.
Yep.
That's what goes on in Dallas.
Usually I'd be sitting in my press box seat by that point, but I would linger. I was a young man at that point. It was different. Very different.
Either of you watching World Hockey Championships yet?
The what?
World Hockey Championships.
Yeah, I have. I saw
Have you?
I saw Crosby go short side blank. It was such a nice play. I refer to it as something different. I go short side, and it's usually an anatomy. And I've been saying that since I was like 15 years old because that's just the terminology. So I haven't changed it. So I can't say those words here.
Well, you could.
I couldn't. But
It shouldn't is maybe the other one. You could. There's nothing stopping you from actually saying
yeah. But Canada looks good.
They're going to win this all.
Yes.
Well, once you have McKinnon and Crosby,
Yeah.
that right there
You
just
don't
puts you on
normally
another
get
level
that
for
level
that.
of player.
No.
And they've got a lot of players.
I think you still got Celebrini.
This is swan song for Fleury.
Yes, I like that he went and played.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that he's there with Crosby to end this all
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Did Fleury play before the lockout? Or was he? Yeah, he would
In
have.
the 04 lockout?
Yeah, because which was his draft year?
03.
So he would have had some time. I was just wondering if they
I don't
started at
think
the
he
same
played-
time. So he started the same season as Crosby?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Career stats. His first NHL. 05-06, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. 03-04. He played 21 games
He
in the
played
NHL.
21 games, yeah.
Yeah. So he was 4-14. So almost came in at the exact same time.
Yeah.
How much longer does Crosby have?
3
Couple
years.
more years.
3 years.
You think 3? Why 3? Why so specific with 3?
I don't know. Just
Okay.
play till he's 40. He's got a couple
I see.
records he needs to break.
Which ones?
I think there was a point streak. I was looking at it the other day.
He still just looks so good.
I know. There's a couple records that he's close to. But he's a top 10 in almost everything right now in terms of records.
What did he produce this year? And Hockey DB. Yeah, like that's 80 games, 91 points. Like that's ridiculous
Yeah.
for a 37-year-old.
Yeah.
He's just so quiet doing it too as well.
You know what sucks though? Is that we were robbed of so many years of greatness from Sidney Crosby. Because with all those concussions. Because like if he was healthy the whole time, are we probably having more of a conversation about him breaking records now? Because he's in the, like I said, he's in the top 10 of almost every category, every record that's out there.
So 07-08, he played 53 games, 10-11, 41, 11-12, 22, 12-13, 36. Has basically been healthy ever since, which is wild to think. You probably need to add another
So he's missed like a season and a half.
1, 2, season and a half-ish. So you're adding another, let's say 100 points.
I think goals is like
I'd say 120 points. You're putting him around, you're putting him at about 1,800 points.
Damn.
Yeah. Goals, I think, is one of the only ones that he's not up there.
I think he's still yes, more points. Yes, higher up the list. But there are guys that have had more points in their career and finished higher in the top 10 that their legacy is nowhere near what Sidney Crosby's is. And like Marcel Dion, I know we talk about Marcel Dion from time to time, but he's an afterthought. Crosby will always be at the forefront because of his championships, timely goals, plays, whatever. Mr. Clutch, the class he carries himself with, showing up for Canada.
It's like most career assists, he's 10 right now. He's 1 behind Yzerman.
Yeah,
And if he would have played, he was hurt for what, 3 seasons probably?
And there,
Well, we
we're
said
saying
about
about a
100.
season and a half. We're saying
Season
let's
and a
say,
half?
let's say 100 games.
Okay, so 100 games, he's probably going to put up, what, 100 points?
120, you said.
Depending on the era. Yeah,
let's
say
give him 20
100.
games.
So like that
Yeah,
right
that's
there
100.
by itself would probably put him in the top 4 career assists.
Yeah, but and that would be great, and we would applaud that. But that's why I still think, regardless of him missing a season and a half worth of games and potentially just as many points, his legacy is cemented where he will always be regarded as one of the best all time.
I agree.
In this 2.5 decade era, his name has been all over everybody's hockey, like the hockey world, in everyone's mind, top of mind as one of the best, starting when he was before he was even in junior.
Yeah.
So I think his legacy is not affected, but just like the sheer amount of clout,
Most
points-wise,
career
we could talk
points right now, he is currently 9.
about. Yeah.
You add 100 points. Where does that put him?
Yeah.
That moves him up the list. He's probably in your top 5 or 6.
Okay, where's
But if he plays for another 3 years and he consistently puts up some of those same points, like he'd probably be with Marcel Dion right now. Most career
But I
points
think-
if he plays that season and a half.
I think we all can agree that we think Sidney Crosby better player than Marcel Dion, regardless of the amount of points. Right? Like I think that's why I think his legacy. I don't know how much more 120 points would boost his legacy because it's already
No, but like
Very much at the top.
but if you look at, for example, Ovechkin, right? Because he breaks a record for goals,
which is huge.
you say he's the best goal scorer of all time.
Yes.
But when you think about Sidney Crosby, he's not going to get to those points, and so you can't ever be like, well, he's the greatest of this.
Could he be the most complete player of all time?
Could be.
That's a good
Maybe
one.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because like
But-
McDavid, like Gretzky's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Ovi, greatest goal scorer of all time. Let's say Crosby, most complete player of all time. McDavid right now might be the most talented player of all time.
Yep.
Yep. Sure.
Like there are different ways to define some of those things. Yeah, maybe he's just the most complete player of all time.
Here's one actually. Maybe I don't know if you guys would know this, but most points in a career, including playoffs. Who do you think's second on that list?
So Gretzky's one?
Mhm.
Actually.
Who's in the
Points.
playoffs like every single year.
So it's points. So it's career, but playoffs and regular season combined.
Yeah. Who do you think is second?
Ron Francis.
No.
Can we go era here? I'm assuming like it's post like 1980 they played type thing, or is it pre like 1980, or is it a mix?
Post 1980.
Okay, so it's that era. Winfield Lemieux. Most points.
He's actually third.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be Lemieux.
It actually kind of threw me off because I thought Yager would be two. Yeah. But
So
it's not.
who had long playoff runs a lot and is up there in points?
Francis, by the way, is number 5.
People see there's a guy people forget about.
Yeah.
Can't be Mark Messier because he'd be up there, and I don't think you'd say that's a surprise.
It is Mark Messier.
Oh, well but that
Mark
should
Messier
be
is
obvious.
number 2.
Yeah.
I would never have thought in my head that Mark Messier would have been second in
Well-
career points total across the board. I would have had Yager ahead of him. I would have had Francis
But
and
what's
Howe
the career
above him.
regular season?
He's like third or fourth
Right.
all time.
And he played a crap
What-
ton of
He played
playoff
like
games.
25 years.
Guys, I don't disagree with you, but in my head, I'm never like, I see Gretzky, then I see Yager, then I see Howe, and then I see Francis. I never thought in my head where I'm like, oh yeah, I guess Mark Messier would be right
Yeah.
there.
he was
he's
always
third.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's third all time in just regular season. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. We're different than on that one. I wouldn't have been surprised if I looked at that and saw Mark
I was a
Messier.
little surprised when I saw it because I see most of the names, but I'm like, well,
I played all those years with the Oilers in the playoffs.
yeah.
And then he went to the
Rangers.
Rangers and played a bunch of years in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And won a cup in 94.
Yep.
It's like that part comes down to also just who's a great point getter, but also played a lot of playoffs.
Yeah.
Now, I think 97 was his last playoff year because he went to Vancouver and never made the playoffs. Back to the Rangers, and I don't think they made the playoffs in the years when he went back.
Well, for a period of time pre that lockout, they never did. Like I know at least from 2000 until the lockout
Yeah.
because they signed all the players.
And
They
they
brought in the all-star teams and they could never get into the playoffs.
And
Ray
he was
Bork
with
at
them.
12.
Ray Bork was awesome.
Unbelievable. He was really good. Paul Coffey at 14. Recchi at 15.
Mark Recchi's a sneaky good player.
I always liked Mark.
It's such an
And John
it's so interesting to see like just where these guys slotted in because you know that they're good, and like you watch Mark Recchi, he was at the Alzheimer's, and I'm like, man, this guy's still got a lot of game.
Was he in town?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, he's still got a lot of game, and you're like, okay, well now you look at this list and you're like, man, this guy's 15th in career points, including playoffs.
And he played forever, too.
Yeah,
I think he came in like 89, 90 and finished in, was it like, he won the cup with Carolina in 05, 06. And I think he played a few more years after that. Played in Atlanta for a bit.
yeah. He was so Pittsburgh, Philly, Montreal,
He won the cup with
Carolina,
Boston.
Atlanta, Tampa, and Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He won the cup in 11 with Boston.
crazy.
I know. He played for Tampa?
Yeah.
I didn't even
See?
know that.
Like
Jeez.
there's things that you're just like, oh wow, what's going on
I knew
here?
he played for Atlanta. I knew he played for Boston. I knew he played for Carolina, won the cup there, but I didn't even remember Tampa. Wow.
Lemieux is 7th on that list, but he has not touched 1,000 games. He was at 915.
Yeah, he got the cancer thing in 92, 93.
2 points a game.
Retired for a few years, had that back issue. He was so good. So
Lost
good.
this season.
Yeah. Yeah, lost 04, 05.
So where do you think he'd be if he played the same amount of games as, let's just throw Gretzky.
I think he would be a 2,000 point guy.
That's kind of what I think too.
So what's the difference in games? Mario Lemieux.
Wayne played what? Like
let's call it 500 games.
Lemieux played 915.
And Gretzky played 1487.
Okay.
1487.
Yep. And they were both basically on a 2.2 points a game average.
So you're looking 500 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 500 games, he needs 300 points. He's well over a 2,000 point player. Like if he play, okay, so if you take the so 96, 97 was his last season before he was gone for 3 seasons.
He retired, yeah.
Retired for 3 seasons. And he ended with 122 points. When he came back, he was 76 and 43 games.
That was insane.
31 and 24 games, 91 and 67. So you could say just if he plays 2 more seasons,
Okay.
out of 3, just plays 2 seasons.
Let's
He's
play
probably adding
hypothetical.
another 200 points,
Yeah.
which puts him just shy of 2,000 in itself.
I think he would have been 2,000.
Everybody fully regards Wayne Gretzky as a best player.
Yeah.
Hypothetical.
If Lemieux doesn't
If
retire.
Lemieux doesn't
Why
retire,
did you air quote hypothetical?
I don't know. I
Is
just
it
did.
a
Yeah,
it doesn't
hypothetical or
work.
is it
It's
a
a
fake
hy-
That's a good
hypothetical?
point.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I do things that I do, Tom. Thank you.
I'm here to help you.
Oh, you can't learn if you don't get called out on it.
I agree. That's why I said I don't know why I do the things that I do. Anyway, if this is a hypothetical situation and Lemieux plays and he doesn't get hurt and he doesn't have all the things, are we having a debate similar to the Ovechkin Crosby?
Yep.
Who's better?
Yep. Definitely.
Because, like, man, that guy was dominant as they come.
Yeah. Because he came in 84, I think was his draft.
Lemieux's first season was 84-85.
Yeah. So, and part of the reason why he retired was the clutch and grab era, right? Dead puck, we call it.
Yeah, the dead puck where the guys were water skiing every shift.
Yes, and that pissed him off. And then also his injuries were accumulating. He would have lasted a little bit out of that dead puck era. Yeah, I think there's that 5-year gap between him and Wayne. Wayne played 5 seasons more in loosey goosey run and gun, late 70s, early 80s. Yeah,
And then the other one you got to throw in there because I regard this guy as the most dominant player in his short stretch of time was Eric Lindros.
You have to throw him there in what? Like if he played an entire career healthy?
Yeah.
but that's
Where-
hypothetical.
yeah,
for
that's
That's a way
hypothetical.
more hypothetical
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
because I think
But where
health.
would he
Because,
be?
but how many more seasons did he have? Like how many top seasons did he actually have though?
He had like a 4-year stretch.
Yeah.
where he was just
He was like,
And it's harder to say that
absolute
going over
wrecking ball.
15 years could he do that because
Yeah.
the size of him and
Ovechkin?
stuff. Yeah, but we're not putting him in the category of Lemieux and Gretzky.
No, we're not. But he is regarded as the greatest goal scorer of all time. I'm just throwing that out there as a hypothetical because has there been a more dominant player in a short period of time than Eric Lindros?
yes,
Damn.
Who?
Gretzky, Lemieux. Like, I understand what you mean with that argument.
Gretzky was dominant in the sense that his skill set was higher than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Lindros, if he didn't outskill
He was a
you,
force.
he was going to abuse you to the point that you wanted to quit.
But he
that
burnt
guy
out
was the
because of
most
injury.
dominant player in the short stretch of time that he had from multiple aspects of the game.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that, but that doesn't mean it. I mean, he is a Hall of Famer and he is elevated, but I still think that falls short of the same type of clout those other guys have.
That's just to me, that's just way too much of a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like it's 61
That's fair.
games played, 65, 46, 73, 52, 63, 71, 55. Didn't play in 2000, 2001, and then 72, 81, 39, 33, 49. Like,
Are you talking
wait-
about goals right there? or-
No, that's games played. That's just
yeah.
games played.
Well, that's
so
my-
like, and that's
my
where I'm
point,
saying
though.
like to do a hypothetical with this one is just too much of a hypothetical. At least Lemieux, you have he has just
It's a closer era.
what happened even without him
streamlined.
losing with those is it one of the greatest careers we've ever seen. There's more sample size to like what could have he done. Lemieux, it's harder because it's like
Lindros.
he did have or Lindros.
yeah.
It's harder because it is like okay, but could have he sustained that over 82 games? We never saw him play 82 games outside of No, 81,
because he
late
was
in
an
his career.
absolute wrecking ball.
So that's why the hypothetical is just like maybe he just never would have lasted. His body never would have held up.
Yeah, which is fair. But the only thing counter to that would be like, would he have been able to escape the era that he was in? Because the era that he was in was, we are headhunting because we're trying to always put you out. And that's just what it was.
Yeah.
Right? Like Darius Kasparaitis. Remember Darius Kasparaitis? Like,
Oh, yeah.
that guy was an effective defenseman, but his game, he was dirty.
He was an assassin.
And he would just try to kill guys
Yeah.
and put their heads into the 15th row of the building.
Yeah.
If you can get out of that, then it changes in your game. And being a guy that's 6'4", 270 pounds, that can fly, and you got missile for a shot, like all of a sudden where you're now not having to worry about your head being put into orbit. I don't know. You never know what could happen.
Lindros was kind of the face of that era as well. He
Yeah.
helped usher it in.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, he was
The
he
big
was-
boy hockey.
That was big boy
Like
hockey. back then.
Jason Arnott was supposed to be like
The next
kind
guy,
of like
yeah,
Eric
yeah.
Lindros, right? And he actually, Jason Arnott kind of was. Jason Arnott lasted a long time, had a very good career.
Yeah.
Very good
Arnie
career.
wasn't as mean as Lindros,
right.
so.
Right.
But similar. I played with him in Dallas. yeah.
Okay, you
Yeah.
did cross paths with him. Okay.
I do like this notification I got from TSN just now. After leading 5-1, Team USA is now clinging to a 5-4 lead over Norway in the third period. The Worlds. Blow it, US.
Tough.
Blow it. Ian Wolf in the nasty chat. Hey, guys, would Crosby consider moving to the Oilers to win another cup before he retires? Because
No.
I don't see the Penguins getting there.
I could see him going to Colorado.
That'd
but
be
I
the
can't
only
see
place
him.
I would. Well, actually, here's my defense of the Oilers in this situation. You look at Sidney Crosby's career; he's done it all. What about being a guy that helps not ultimately is the top guy, but helps lead the Canadian team back to the Stanley Cup, to winning it?
I don't know, man. I think he's
If
the
you're
kind
looking legacy, like adding, I helped bring the Stanley Cup back to Canada.
I could see him going with his best buddy.
Yes.
And that's about it.
Yeah. Like I think ultimately he wants to be one of those guys that starts and finishes with the
Yeah.
same franchise.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about that. It's so rare nowadays.
Well, the Oilers don't have that.
Nope.
Of like X amount of games played, wherever you want to set the bar at. Like not obviously a season, but if somebody who's established, like the closest right now is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yep.
Like Kevin Lowe went to New York for 3 years, came back. And I think he finished with 1,037 games as an Oiler.
Smitty left.
Smitty, but he was gone for what, 3-4 years, then came back.
Like it's like right now the trajectory. Like I get like Oscar Klefbom, you could say
Sure.
career, but it's not.
He's
Ends
done
early
at
with
28
injury,
years
right?
old,
Yeah.
Like 27, whatever. it
Nuge
was.
would be the first. Then you're looking at Crosby and Leon are the next ones. You hope.
McDavid.
Yes.
Yeah. But Crosby in that same
Yeah. No. I
idea.
mean, that's,
I have a text I want to get
Mixing
to
up
that
names.
you can answer. It comes in from Mabutski, who says, Todd Nelson's Hershey Bears just broke an AHL record with their 9th straight playoff series win. The Calder Cup three-peat dream is still alive. Someone in the NHL needs to hire Nelly. You played for Nelly for a full season. What?
I don't. Oh, Nelly is awesome.
Yes.
I love
I've
that
known
guy.
him, yeah, just as long as you have.
But there's something keeping him out of the NHL.
I know. I think he deserves a shot, though.
So do I.
Yeah.
But he's been deserving of a shot for the last 7 years.
And the one he got here wasn't fair.
But something is keeping him out of the NHL.
But I don't think that something, if that's what we're talking about, should be keeping him out of the NHL.
I don't disagree with you.
Because there's NHL coaches
That are just as bad.
or worse.
But he's not getting a shot because of it.
Great guy.
And I think it's absolutely insane because based on what he's done at the minor level,
Yeah.
that guy's lights out good.
Yeah. What kind of coach was he? Because
He's a player's coach.
yeah.
Yep. He got along with all the players and he pushes when he needs to. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But
But it's funny how and he's not the only one, but there's a certain reputation and people just won't actually do the work to
you know what I feel like it is?
understand what?
It's similar to players. If you start off in the minors and it takes you a long time to get and figure out what your path is and how your game is going to evolve to get to the NHL level. And let's say you end up as a player and you spend 4 years in the minors, you're pegged as a minor league player.
Yeah.
That to me feels the same as what's happening there.
He's a minor league coach.
He's a minor league coach.
I don't like that.
That's what it seems like.
Right, but his NHL resume is, while small, was pretty good.
I don't disagree with you.
Considering what he was working
But
on.
it's hard to shake
And they
perceptions.
won quite. He got quite a few wins from that.
It's hard to shake the perception, though.
Okay. Bruins need a coach. Joe Sacco's an interim. I don't know if they announced that if he's coming back or not. Blackhawks need a coach. Flyers, we're going to give talk at Flyers. Kraken, Pens, Canucks. Is that left? Is it just the 5 jobs right now? Yeah, I think it is. Is there a spot that you think Todd Nelson would fit in?
Yeah, all of them.
Do you?
But okay, Woodcroft's probably going to.
I don't think he's ready for the. I don't think he's a Bruins guy. Maybe they're at the bottom.
Woodcroft's going to probably get a job.
Yeah.
Does he go to LA?
You know that there's going to be multiple guys getting
Maybe.
recycled. You know there is. Right? So the coaching carousel in the NHL always consistently goes around and around, and it takes a few hot candidates to jump into that carousel.
Are we sure Jay's going to get a job?
What did
He's been interviewing for almost all of them.
I know,
Yeah,
but that
what
doesn't mean
did-
you're getting the job. Todd Nelson's interviewed for a lot of jobs.
Benny,
Yeah, but
who did Pagnotta say Woodcroft is interviewed with? Anaheim,
Anaheim, I thought he.
Vancouver.
Yeah, I
Vancouver's
was
in
gonna
there.
say. I
a couple
heard
others.
Vancouver,
Was Seattle in there?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
Seattle was in
yeah.
there. Yeah.
That's why you need to watch and listen Hello Hockey, Saturdays at 10 a.m. to noon.
Nice plug.
Thank you.
The difference between Todd and Jay, though, is that Jay has been in the NHL for a long time. So you're going to get the opportunity to be a guy that comes in right away as opposed to Todd. Todd isn't a hot candidate anymore. He's not a sexy candidate coming out. Guys that are coming out of the NCAA, those are the hot guys.
Right.
They're young. They're up and coming.
Right,
It's
but
just
where I struggle with here's where I ask, is Jay going to get the job? He never got a job last year. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-ish, if not more, coaching hirings since Chris Knobloch took over. And he didn't get any of them.
so. Who are the coaches that got rehired though?
But that's like,
It's the carousel, man.
Sheldon
but
Keefe.
Sheldon Keefe gets rehired right away. Craig
Yeah.
Berube gets hired right away. Jim
Yeah.
Montgomery gets hired right away.
Yeah.
Eventually, Bruce Cassidy, he got hired right away. Now that's prior. Todd McClellan got hired rather quickly.
Coaching
Jay has
carousel.
not. That's why I'm wondering, are we sure he's getting a job this cycle?
I think he does get back in there.
I mean, he was good when he was in.
If he was such a hot candidate, why wouldn't a team jump on him
I don't
already?
think he's
by
a
now?
hot candidate
That's I
anymore.
think that he's cooling.
I think he's
Absolutely.
I think he's a hotter candidate than Todd Nelson.
I'll
That's
agree
where
with
this
you
whole
that.
conversation
100%.
started.
But I'm asking, like, are we sure he's going to actually get a job as a head
I
coach?
think
this,
so. There's
this
so many
one?
openings now.
I know.
And his winning
But-
percentage is the best until Woodcroft. I think Woodcroft's still number 1 in Oilers history. Anyway.
Smitty the welder. Woody is getting a job anytime soon. He's not a good coach. I'm assuming saying he isn't getting a job anytime soon. He isn't a good coach.
You know what was interesting around I like Woody. I've liked him. I've known him for a long time, obviously. But I think he does get a job. But last year at the Cup final, when all the national, international media were around, all the insiders are there, they didn't have him as high on the pecking order to get a job. They had him way lower, and they would be like, well, this and that, we're hearing this. And I was like, really? Like I think he would be pretty close to getting back in there right away. And there was less excitement around his name than I thought there would be. when it came to
He probably
potential
just has
jobs.
a lot to learn, change some things up.
Yeah, I
His,
guess so.
the way that he goes about his business. But I've always got along with him, and I didn't know him at all.
Yeah.
But I was coaching at Nate, maybe Nate in another place, and we'd cross paths, and he'd be first guy to be like, hey, how's it going? Like, he was awesome.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So
okay, Dallas Aikens gets back into the NHL. Don't get me wrong; he's got one of the worst winning percentages in history of the NHL.
You're saying he got back in?
Yeah.
Like he's getting back in again.
He's not.
No,
I'm
he-
saying
he got back in. He
got
pardon me,
another
Dallas
shot.
Aikens
Yeah.
got
Another shot.
Now he went and put in his time in San Diego
He went back to the American Hockey League.
pretty quickly, and Woody has not done that. Did he need to? I don't think he necessarily did, especially because his contract.
Well, he went to Europe because I think that was
Oh,
the
he
only
did
thing
go
that
to
was.
Eu-
Yeah, he went
okay,
to Europe
right,
and he was
right.
coaching in Europe this past year.
Okay.
Was he?
okay.
Yeah.
Where was he coaching in Europe?
I think he was in Germany
right.
3 or something like that.
But that's not prominent.
That just seems like I need to do something until the NHL
Yeah.
hires me, as opposed to
That's
I need to
100% what it
re-earn
was.
it.
Yeah.
That
I
was
need to
100%.
re-earn my job.
So
Right.
what I'd heard was, because we have a mutual friend, he was like, well, yeah, he went and he wanted to continue coaching and being in different leagues than just North American leagues, so he can help grow and expand his, I guess, his coaching acumen.
There's not even a story on this.
Because now you're in a different part of the world. How do they operate? How do they do things? And that's kind of what was told to me via our buddy. And yeah, so it's just different.
If Jay doesn't get one, he has to go to the American Hockey League,
Yeah.
or he has to become an assistant again. Like
Yeah.
it just would. You can't sit for 2 years
Well,
and not get a job.
look at some of the assistants in the league right now. Like Claude Julien is an assistant coach. Davis Payne has been an assistant coach after being a head coach. The Oilers have Glenn Gulletson, who was a head coach. There's a lot of guys who were really good head coaches for a long time who are just assistant coaches now, and they're putting in their time as well. So I always find that interesting. I was watching a handshake line after the first round. I'm like, Claude Julien, there he is. Oh, how about that?
The official drink of the EST Hangout, it is the Finnish long drink legend of 1952, a drink unlike any other. Sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada.
Nice.
So you can enter your postal code and find a liquor store and establishment nearest you with the long drink in stock. Or if you're heading to Rogers Place for the next Oiler game, whenever that might be, there will be at least one more. Go get the long drink because they have a nice partnership with OEG. I do need to get to over under for Play Alberta. PlayAlberta.ca or download the Play Alberta app. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instants, and sports betting all in one place. New players can choose their offer. Deposit 20 with promo code 100casino and get $100 or $100 free bet with 100 sports. Play smart, play local, and always use your game sense. I'm just going to look at the Oiler game tonight. It is 6.5. Last game, largely due to the shutout of Stuart Skinner, it did hit the under. You guys think this game is going to be a lot more open? You think we're seeing an over of 6.5? Or
No, I
you
feel like
think
it's gonna be tight tonight. I'd take the under.
Yeah.
it is plus money, plus 100 under 6.5, minus 139 on the over 6.5. You just can't. You can't see Hill being just completely losing it again too straight. That's the thing.
Yeah. I'd go with the under.
It is a series clinching game.
3-2 nail
Skinner
biter.
does do well in those
Yeah,
as well.
I could see that.
Yeah. What was Dusty saying? 8-2. The Oilers are in series clinching games.
I think your song's being played.
Yeah, the Reed. You heard that song, right?
I have, yeah.
Reed wrote a
You
song
decided to
with
share that
EA,
with me. Yeah.
AI about me. He's got one about you too.
I've heard it.
You weren't too happy with it.
No, it is what it is. They play it, and then they always like him and Jay are like, "Oh my god, man, we have to tell you something." And they play the song. I'm like, "I'm doing work here."
Those
Like, I
two-
don't care.
Those two are like frickin' frack,
A
man.
couple menaces, hey?
Yeah.
And they're just like so excited about it, and you're just like, "I'm trying to send some emails right now." Like,
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm sending emails. Emails
I'm
must
trying
go
to
out.
get some things done, and you're trying to play this song that AI
You were a
generated.
busybody the other. I think it was Monday. You were just like buzzing around. You're like printing stuff, cutting papers, organizing. Oh, the day you did inventory for
I was doing
the
inventory, that was
merchandise.
one day.
Dusty and I looked. They were like, "He's doing inventory right now."
Do it every
That's
so
huge.
often. I did not like where I was. I had things just all over the place. Not
Has that stuff been
categorized.
selling?
Actually, recently it has been selling quite a bit more.
That's awesome.
EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Click on Shop EST, and all of our inventories up there. What you could possibly purchase. Norway just tied it up. Incredible.
I was supposed to remind you of something when we were sitting together in the press box. Do you remember what it was?
No.
Because either do I. But I know that I had to remind you of something. Was it something about the Oilers fan base?
No, but
it
I
a
did make a
talking
lot
point?
of comments to you about that during the game.
They get nervous.
They do.
Why
I'm not
wouldn't
gonna,
they?
because
Their team is crazy.
well, in that game, so that was game 3.
Yeah.
There were times where I felt the crowd should have got behind their team and brought the energy as opposed to sitting nervously.
I understand the nerves. This team doesn't do anything easily.
But when you are a fan, you do have a duty to help your team out.
Yeah.
And there were times where at points I'm like, hey, get up right now. Give them that energy to win this hockey
Like
game.
right after they scored, it should have been they were still up. Well, I think they were still up 2-1. It should have still been an electric building.
And then in the third period,
But it was pin drop city.
when the Oilers were down by a goal, it was just quiet. And like as the clock was ticking, it's like maybe now start getting going.
Yeah.
Get that team going. And then the Oilers
Yeah.
scored, and then the crowd
Then it went
erupts.
crazy, yeah.
And then they're crazy for a few
Yeah.
minutes. And it's like, where is that before the goal?
Yeah, it just
Help
it does
push
die
that
down.
team to it.
Yeah.
And at times the crowd gets a little too nervous. And I get it. Oiler fan base is nervous at that time, and that extends. But if you're in that rink, I would like to see it a little bit more times. Take your nerves, put them aside, and give the players that boost if you can.
Yeah.
It got so loud. That first period was nuts.
It was crazy. When they were coming,
awesome.
like they were flying around the ice.
Yeah.
They went up 2. It was crazy loud.
It's ridiculously loud when they're coming on the ice. Like they do that
Oh,
DB
yeah.
meter.
Yeah.
I don't know how fully accurate it is. In the first round, it never hit like 110 plus. They're coming out, it's 111, 112 right now. Like it does hurt the ears.
Yeah.
Donair Force 1 also gets a good applause too.
That's awesome. That's wicked. There's a lot of things in the in-game entertainment that they could be so much better with.
Yeah, they do a
But
good
that is
job,
one of the
though.
best things they do.
I love Donair Force 1. I just want a Donair when they do it. I thought
Yeah.
about getting one yesterday. I was like, probably shouldn't. But and I talked to Granger because he called it a Donair burrito. He's like, I got lit up for that one. I'm like, yeah, it's the same concept, pita wrapped up, but it's not a tortilla, it's a pita, and it's a little bit different. I had to explain it to him after, and he goes, now I get it. He's like, because I see there's Donair everything around here. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of an Alberta / East Coast thing. Because they have Heroes, and what's the other thing?
It's Euros.
Euros. And then, I'm forgetting the other term for it in the States, but it's not necessarily the same.
Gyros?
Yeah,
It's a
but
euro.
God,
okay.
I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Brandon Mance, the nervous energy is natural. No, it is, but you see some places where they put that aside. Like Dallas is a place.
Oh, yeah.
That in that third period, like they're giving it.
Yeah.
And even if their team's leading, like they stand at a certain point in that third period and they don't sit down.
They've been doing that a little bit here, though.
They have been a bit more, but it's
Yeah.
like actually in 06 this was the case here in Edmonton. The crowd just stood through the TV timeouts cheering.
Yeah, that's
And then
what it
they
should be
come
like.
back and then they're still cheering. And that hasn't been replicated at Rogers Place, that part of it.
Yes.
But yes, there are some that are
In
the
that-
nerves are natural, but when you're there, you could also put that aside and really bring that energy, whether your team's up or down, and really change the vibe of the game and
Yeah.
really change it for the players.
That's why it's called home ice, because
Yeah.
you have the ability to make it a hard environment for teams. Because as soon as that goal was scored in the game 3 there, it's 2-1. Okay, you're disappointed that they scored, but now you need to go off again, get your team back into it. But it was just like, it was like almost like everybody was stunned that they got scored on. Well, like, I mean, there is 2 teams that are playing, so there's that. But it's still 2-1. You're still winning.
If you get
going
nervous, the fans or the players might get nervous too in that moment.
Well, then it just becomes
Right, like-
it just becomes hush, and then all of a sudden now it's just 2 teams playing, but your energy, like you get energy from fans when they're going absolutely nuts. It's impossible for you to skate out of that tunnel when the fans are going ballistic and not be like, oh man, I think about, times in my career where I'm just like, man, goosebumps, and I tell Tommy this all the time, like when I was playing in Montreal. And we did it was like my first ever like home opener. So I've been called up, played and whatever, but the first ever and only home opener I ever did was in Montreal. And we all had to introduce ourselves on the mic. So very different what they normally do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
in French. And then Markov, who was hurt, was on the bench, and he comes on in his Russian accent, and he says, "Nous sommes des Canadiens." And that place went bananas. And like, I still get goosebumps to this day, and that's like 13 or 14 years removed. So I think about when we're standing there, we're watching the game, especially if you're in the crowd, and the Oilers come out and that horn's going nuts, and the boys come flying out there, and you see McDavid going warp speed around the ice. Like, there's no way that those guys aren't jazzed up. There's no way. It's impossible to come out in Edmonton and not play well. But when he goes pin drop, well, just bring more noise.
Yeah. And if anyone's going to make the argument that Dallas fans don't know the game, that's a total lie. They've had a team for 30 years, and they know hockey down there.
But I will also go that they don't know hockey as well as Oiler fans do.
Oh, no, they do. Seriously.
But
Don't count them out. They really do understand the game very, very well.
But I don't think. Yeah, I think this is where
they can't make that
the
argument.
attitude
It's
is
not
different. Where in especially down south in Texas, like with their football and stuff, they're going not as coaches or GMs, they're going as fans. And in Edmonton, too often, I think people go as coaches and GMs, and they want to analyze the game in that moment.
We do have 500,000 coaches and GMs in this city,
And that's where Dallas fans listen. They're like, "Well, we're just going to make noise. We're going to bring the energy." Whereas Edmonton, they get nervous because you're coaching and GMing the team. Sometimes.
so stop coaching and GMing and being a fan.
But like I couldn't imagine being an Oiler player as they walk onto that ice because it's unbelievable. It's electric.
Crazy. It is.
Like I honestly, I don't think there'd be like. There's not a lot of cooler things in the world than I think being like that starting goalie walking onto the ice for a home playoff game.
That'd be pretty.
And like being like Calvin Pickett or Stu Skinner, getting to walk that tunnel.
Yep.
You know, you're leading your team on this, and that place just rocking. It must be such a cool feeling.
Do you remember when Smitty got hurt? Mike Smith got hurt. He had to leave. I think it was a playoff game, right?
Yeah.
And then he came back. Do you remember when he came back out and they show him coming down the tunnel?
And they did show it at the rink too.
Yeah.
And the crowd went nuts again.
That was kind of
like,
funny.
you know how cool of a moment that would have been?
Was that Lucic hit him? I think that's what it was. I think Lucic crushed him behind the net, and then he had to go for concussion protocol. Yeah, this was after Lucic crushed him, and he had to go for concussion protocol. And Koskinen came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then here comes Smitty down like a conquering hero.
Somebody
and
put
the
it
fans
to
were going bananas.
Jim Ross, Stone Cold Steve Austin, break a glass. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, that must be like one of those cool feelings in sports. But yeah, you could do it still during the game at times.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is what we were supposed to talk about.
I don't remember
I don't
either,
think it was
but
this.
Jasmine, obviously listening, says, "Talk association, you cowards."
No.
We're talking Oilers playoffs right now. Duck Dad, talk soccer instead. Let the Jonathan David speculation begin.
No. He's
What?
leaving Lille finally, apparently.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See, we got the
Nice
breaking news
work,
right
buddy.
there. You got the soccer news.
Here,
Canadian
I'll
star.
give you the association
Jonathan
news.
David is leaving Lille. We don't know. It sounds like a couple of Italian clubs are the favorites for him to land.
Paisan, let's
Here's
go.
Inter.
Milan. Although Tejan Buchanan might not be staying in his Spanish club, so we'll see what's happening with Tejan.
Here's the association. and
There's
all you
your
need
big
to know.
news from Jonathan David.
Yeah.
That the Nuggets
it's
blew it
rigged.
yesterday.
Oh, okay.
It's not rigged.
It's rigged.
not rigged.
They traded Luka to the Lakers, and then they proceeded to get the #1 overall pick. It's rigged. And on top of that, I saw the nice little graphic that every single time a team trades bona fide star to an LA franchise, they get the #1 pick that same season. Boom, it's rigged. No more association. Thank you, Jazz.
You're a true sleuth.
I got
Well
you.
done. Get this guy a monocle and a raincoat. Maybe a pipe. I don't
Eric
know.
just muted Jasmine for 10 seconds. On here.
Excellent.
The Nuggets blew it yesterday. They blew a good game from Jokic, and now they're down 3-2. Pacers move on. Knicks have a chance to close out the Celtics today. They're not doing it.
Yeah.
Back in Boston. They're not taking 3 in Boston.
Yeah.
But then game 6 will be a fascinating game for that one. I do hope the Knicks win it all. It'd be fun. It'd be unique. And then Clausen could be happy.
OG Anunoby versus Pascal Siakam. The Raptors stars are dominating as per usual.
Apparently Adam Foote maybe to the Canucks.
Well,
Who's
he's
got
there
that
as
one?
an assistant.
Did
Where did we hear that?
Hello, hockey.
Thank you.
Yeah. Traeger now has it there too.
With Irf
Irf
talking
had
about it.
Irf had it on Saturday.
Okay, so there's one last spot for Jay Woodcroft.
All right. Go to Chicago,
Just saying.
whatever.
I'm
This
just
is going to
saying.
bug me the rest of the day, Maddie.
What it was?
What? Yeah. What?
I feel like maybe it was something we weren't supposed to talk about.
we were supposed to talk about.
That I
it.
maybe joked him like, oh, you should remind
Like,
me. But
remind me about this because we should talk about this on the Hangout.
but I wasn't going to remember because I was hoping like it was
That I
a
would
joke
forget.
one or something.
Don't forget about it.
Okay.
Well, there was the Leafs Panthers are closer series than I
Gross.
predicted.
Guys, I got an email or a text that I want to get to. First time texter, Ron.
Just us. No, nothing with you.
Go
Nothing
ahead.
with
Go
you.
ahead, go ahead.
Whatever. We got 5 minutes left. Ron, first time text says Oiler playoff ticket prices have priced out a certain section of the fan base. I'd argue that these are diehard fans that would bring the energy that Matt is talking about. What would you say to Ron?
Facts.
But when we got into our very hypothetical conversation last week,
Yeah.
part of that is fans have priced out fans too. Because the Oilers have priced out the diehards too, that it's the other people buying those tickets. But then some people are buying those tickets specifically to sell those tickets, and they're selling them at a higher price than what they're selling them for. So they're even further pricing out the fans. So some people are pricing out actual fans as well. The other part to this is, I will just have to throw it out there. The economy hasn't been in the best spot over the last number of years.
True.
There was a long playoff run last year for the Edmonton Oilers.
$18 beers.
People spent a lot of money, not just at Rogers Place, though, but how many people came to watch parties at Hudson's or have gone to Boston Pizzas? How many
Cheaper
people
beers.
ended up traveling to Dallas, but more specifically Florida?
Cheaper beers.
A lot of money was spent in this city by Oiler fans over the last
On expensive
those
beers.
3 months last year. Do you have that money to do it again this year?
No, because it's $18 a beer.
You don't have to buy a beer.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
Okay, sorry.
How do you go to a
buy
game and
you
not
buy
buy
a
a
long
beer?
drink and it's like $40.
You don't have to buy a drink at all at Rogers Place.
Sneak it in.
Are you nuts?
Pre-drink, baby.
Oh my god.
Pre-drink.
Go
buy-
pre-drink
go
so
get a
that
gummy.
you're half in the bag.
Go get a gummy.
And then you can't even see straight and you're trying to cheer and
have
you
a
can't,
gummy.
you're just like you're falling asleep. No.
does
No.
happen.
That
Just have a
doesn't-
gummy.
no. You got to keep that
way.
thing going.
Go get a nice 2.5 before a game.
Oh.
When you're there,
You're not
pop
trying
another
to, you're not trying to
2.5.
mellow out. You're trying to go get amped up.
Do you eat your gummies like that?
I guess that doesn't work.
2.5 mgs. This is
I'm just
great.
saying, like there are ways you don't have to drink, but that's my point. It's that the economy. So many people spent money. That there's also just less money that people might have disposable to go spend.
Yeah.
Or with that, they know how much they spent last year and going, I got to pace myself for this year. But yes, there's a lot of diehard fans that can't get into this rink. The
That is
problem is
true.
the Oilers are becoming they are a premium product, and unfortunately, they're turning into the Toronto Maple Leafs. Where it's-
Oh my
But in
god.
terms of-
Clip that. Maddie
Well,
said it.
well, it's true. It's a status to be at Rogers Place,
Gross.
and that's what it turns into.
How
More people now
dare
have
you.
tickets so that they'd be like, I have tickets, as opposed to I'm here to go cheer on my team. That's what it's slowly turning into. They are more that than they are a Winnipeg Jets.
Dusty did sit beside two guys in suits.
He said they're from the future.
Yeah. For the gentleman's suite.
Or you could argue they're from the past. Because a lot of people used to go to games. The Oilers, because of all that and what they've become, they are becoming more of a status, which means much more premium, which means they're close to that Toronto Maple Leafs crowd than Oilers. It's the same as like Yankee crowd
Do you talk
generally.
to your mother with that mouth?
Yankee crowd generally, like outside of bleachers, is more of the status. The true baseball fans in town would more go to a Mets game.
You talk to Edmonton fans like that, it's comparing them to Toronto Maple Leaf fans.
I didn't say the fans. I said inside
Yeah.
Rogers Place, what the barn is turning
Yeah.
into.
The library?
I will say though, it did get pretty rowdy at times last game.
Oh yeah.
Very loud, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
It gets loud.
Yeah, it does.
It gets really loud.
But not.
But I can go find 18,000 more rowdier fans to put in that. For a
Yeah,
playoff
that
game,
is
Oh,
true.
this is
right.
100%
like
true.
that.
Yeah.
We can go easily find 18,000, or maybe let's say 10,000 to swap out some people
Yeah.
and make that even better. Like that is out there,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people that just can't get in.
I would like to get some drums going, and not the drums up in like the top section, the Oiler guys. Like, I want drums in the crowd. I want that
I
place
don't
to be.
like the drums in the crowd.
I want that place to be an absolute hellhole for teams to come into.
There are a couple things I don't like, and I'm just me being grumpy, man. But like, there's a group of guys in the one corner. They stand up too much, and they like try to pump. I don't like the ones that run up and down. Like, you're trying to take away from the game
No, love it.
I don't like it.
Get them going.
There are these girls that dress up
Get 'em
like rig
going.
workers that I really like, though.
They're wearing the Lauren
Shocker.
Kyle corsets.
How do you know about the Lauren Kyle?
Because when her thing got launched, it was like a big thing of her merch stuff.
I love any fan that
Sounds
tries to
inexpensive.
get the fans
They were.
amped up.
They were all very expensive.
That's what I love.
No, I don't. I
Any
think
fan
I'm
that
with
wants
you.
to get it hyped up, get it hyped up.
there's
What I
fans
don't
that
like,
are making it about them, and it's kind of like
who cares? Get it going.
The wave?
That's the
Not-
only thing that I don't like.
I hate the
It's-
wave. I hate it.
It's one, I'd rather somebody, if they can get 5 more people more rowdy, I could live with that because then 5 more people are rowdier.
I like rowdy, but just like don't inhibit other fans.
Well, if you want to not be inhibited, stay at home.
Jeez.
I'm with you on this
you.
one. 100%.
If you don't want to stand up and cheer, then
There's no one stand up and cheer, but they don't do it during the play.
No, I'm standing
Don't be
up.
obnoxious.
I'm standing up.
oh,
The
you
last
would have had a
time- the
great
last
time at
time
Canada Soccer with Luke, Eric, and I.
This
Yeah.
is the guy that
And
almost
Ryan.
got kicked out, and he's alumni from the team.
I wasn't getting kicked out. I was ready to what was I doing? I was banging on the glass
Don't
because
bang on the
guess
glass.
what?
Don't be
I
a
was
glass
ready
banger.
to go.
Or like the person that stands up and waves at the broadcast.
No,
camera.
I was banging on the glass because I was
That's
trying to
the
get
worst.
Spurgeon off his game because we know each other.
06. I think it was the Sabres, Hurricanes watching that. Like when Buffalo was last in play, that glass was moving. It was
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that.
Last word, I got quickly give it to Clausen. Knicks haven't closed out a series at home since '99. So as much as I'd like to see that Friday, just finish it tonight. I think Boston will put up a big fight for Tatum tonight, though. We have the best player in the East, though. Captain Clutch will deliver. Hello Hockey, 10 o'clock on Saturday. But tonight, GCLD's Oil Stream pregame show. Tommy, Belzy, and Hernan live from Hudson's on White. They'll get you further set for Oilers Golden Knights Game 5 tonight. The Oilers looking to punch their ticket to the conference finals. Coming up next, Lock Shop. We've got 2 guys in Oil Stream, EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show, all here on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. On behalf of Belzy, Tommy, and Benny, I am Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage, and your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout, presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,